In this year's last episode of How's the Market in Toronto and York region, we are going to review the shifted housing market, the interest rate, and the 2023 housing outlook by RE/MAX. First, let's look at the city of Toronto. In November, the price correction continued and made the average sales price 4.1% lower than last year. There were only 1,798 homes sold due to the increased borrowing costs and the unclear future of the market, as well as seasonal adjustments as we approach the holidays. In the York region, the average price dropped further to 6.1% lower than a year ago. The market activities painted a similar story, and since we constantly have more new listings than actual sales, the inventory has been growing, moving some segments into a balanced market. Welcome back to our real estate channel. I am Nick Xu, and we are here to help you maximize joy and profits when buying and selling real estate. I appreciate your support, and if this is the first time you have come to our channel, remember to like and subscribe. If you want to move to Toronto or need professional advice about home selling and buying, you can make an appointment with a buyer consultation or seller consultation using the link below. Sophia and I will be more than happy to meet you in person or online. To review the housing market, I want to start with the average price change in the last 10 years span, because what we are seeing now has many similarities compared to the correction in 2017. Both started with a higher than normal increase at the beginning of the year due to an imbalance of supply and demand, followed by a sudden freeze in market activities. Arguably, both times they started with government intervention, the introduction of foreign buyer tax in 2017, and a series of policy changes, most notably the aggressive interest rate hike in 2022. This is when we can start to see the difference between rigid demand and speculation demand. The rigid demand represents home buyers, mostly first-time home buyers who need housing, regardless of the market change. Some of them were hit hard because the aggressively increased borrowing costs reduced their purchasing power and priced them out of the market, even though the average sales price dropped from the peak. And you can tell because the first-time home buyers not buying a home now are shifting toward the rental market, creating a huge competition. If you are one of them, of course, there are ways to own a home when you can afford a rental. And sometimes it just comes down to education. The speculation demand, on the other hand, is more from the investors, and they are buying properties to either gain positive cash flow and or make a profit with home price appreciation. In the last couple of years, due to the historically low interest rate and the worry that cash will depreciate during quantitative ease and increased money supply, more people decided to take really cheap loans from the banks and invest in housing or stock markets, creating demand pool inflation. Back in the spring, I talked about this phenomenon in greater detail, and this explains why we all of a sudden lost all those demands in buying real estate with multiple offers everywhere. And we probably won't get them back until housing market bounces back or the Bank of Canada makes borrowing costs much lower again. But when will the Bank of Canada stop the rate hike and eventually start to lower the interest rate again? For them to stop the hike, it really depends on two factors. One, the CPI or inflation in Canada, which in October, we are still high at 6.9%, 3 times more than Bank of Canada's target. Note that while increasing interest rate can fight inflation, there is a lag when we can actually see things like food prices coming down. Probably real estate and maybe cars are the only industries you will see the impact right away because we are just so sensitive to the interest rate. 2, since our economy largely follows US, this decision is usually influenced by the Federal Reserve. Simply put, maybe we would stop seeing the hike when they stop in the States, but we are getting close because the Bank of Canada is getting a tremendous amount of pressure not to jeopardize our economy. And when our economy goes into recession, which seems to be a matter of time, dropping the interest rate will be another weapon to fight the recession. I have been keeping my mortgage variable and hope the change will come sooner. However, a recent report from the Bank of Montreal suggests that the U-turn of the interest rate hike may not come in 2023. If the interest rate stays elevated, you can imagine it won't be a good signal for home prices. Well, from a homeowner's perspective. And I think while people are pessimistic about the interest rate in 2023, more or less contributed to the new RE/MAX Canadian Real Estate Outlook report, that I'm sharing with you. You can find the link to the full report in the comment below. The headline is that, according to Remax, the national average price is expected to decrease by 3.3% in 2023. Not a very good sign if you are thinking about selling. But what's also very important is to understand what that means in every market segment. If we look at the Greater Toronto area, the number is even worse, 11.4% decrease. However, in its immediate neighborhood, York region, it is forecasted to increase by 15%. That's a big difference considering the geographic proximity and making York region the best and probably only place worth investing in the Golden Coastal region. Why is Remax so pessimistic about the real estate market in the city of Toronto? I'm sure they have many reasons, but one of them must be the introduction of vacant home tax. By the way, for homeowners, you are required to submit your declaration online to avoid paying this tax. Stay tuned for my next video. I will walk you through the process of doing so. We will also discuss what you need to know about the foreign buyer ban and how that might affect you. Thank you for watching my house market in Toronto and York region. My name is Nick Xu from Sun Team at Remax. We help you maximize joy and profits when buying and selling real estate. If you are looking to move, let's connect. I keep a pulse on what's happening in the market and in our area, so you can feel confident in your decision to buy or sell a home today.